What's going on, guys? I'm back at you again, and we're on our way to starting a brand new year of some NFL football, some rigged and scripted football. And you've come to the right place. You've come to the place where we pick these games based on the rig, based on what we think will happen, based on how Vegas has been showing us things will happen. So it's basically looking into the past and predicting the future. Kind of like what you do when you're trading stocks or basically anything. Patterns are always going to be run the same way. Maybe different variances, but for the most part, patterns don't change. So we got a matchup Thursday night Ravens versus Chiefs. Usually, I always say the Super Bowl winner because they usually have the Super Bowl champion play Week 1, that first game against like a powerhouse or a team that the NFL is pushing in your face. Usually, that team beats the Super Bowl champ, so they can bolster up, and now they can push that team the whole year. It happened last year with the Lions. They beat the Chiefs. I picked the Lions to win that. It was an easy game to win and pick. Lions easily won that game. No one saw it coming. Everyone thought the champs would win. But I think people might wake up to that. I think people are going to see that pattern. The smart people, anyway, because there are some dumb fans that are still going to think these games are real. So people are going to be like, oh, the Chiefs are the champs. They're going to win. I mean, the Chiefs made some moves, though. They got Xavier Worthy, their own, another Tyreek Hill, basically. So, I mean, that's going to definitely make them stronger. Their defense is coming back. The Chiefs are definitely going to be a damn good team, but the Ravens, we already know they threw that game. They should have beat the Chiefs. The Ravens really should have been in the Super Bowl. So that's another reason. I just think the Ravens are a better team than the Chiefs, and they just laid down. They didn't play to their potential, and that's why they lost. They got paid to lose. That's what they do. But I think they're going to win this game, and they're going to push the Ravens all year as the best team. And then these teams are going to meet again, and then the Chiefs are going to beat them. And then Mahomes is going to be a three-time champ. First to ever do it. I'm calling it now because, I mean, when else will they ever be able to do it if they don't do it now? Because it's never been done before. When else will they be able to do it? They can only justify it now. I mean, they could have done it with Brady, right? Why didn't they do it with Brady? They were saving it for someone. Is it Mahomes? I think so. So I'm gonna go with. I'm picking Baltimore to win that game, just because I'm following the pattern. Literally, the last 4 years, I think even 5 years, the Super Bowl champ has lost that opening game. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So look back at it. I think it was the last 4 or 5 years the Super Bowl champ has lost. It's probably longer than that, but that's as far as I looked. But it's probably every time. Who knows? But I'm sure maybe they've probably let him win here and there. But usually the Super Bowl champ loses that week 1. They lay down or something stupid happens. They lose by a field goal or whatever. Their kicker misses a kick. Something. Or last year they just get handled. So I just think Baltimore is going to win and they're going to just bolster them. All right, next game we got Packers versus Eagles, and that's a Friday night game, guys. So we got a Thursday night game, and then we got a Friday night game, and maybe we'll broadcast for those. We'll see. I don't know. I just don't really like doing that too much because YouTube is weird. But maybe Rumble. I don't know. I got to figure that out because it would be nice to just be able to break this stuff down live. But then again, you got to deal with copyrights. But if I could figure out a way to do it on Rumble and do it live, we could literally break the game down as it's happening before we do the actual breakdown. But with this, I'm going to go with the Packers here, guys, because I think they're going to try to keep pushing the Packers. Everyone thinks the Eagles are great. So I think everyone's going to pick the Eagles. So I'm picking the Packers. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in my direction. And then the next, we got the Panthers versus the Saints or the Aints, whichever way you want to call it. I'm just writing, guys. Give me a second. I literally just jumped on and did this. Time's scarce these days. So we got Panthers, Saints. I think everyone's going to pick the Saints. But I think the Saints could win. If we were doing covers and whatnot, I would probably go the way I was going to say, but I don't want to do that too much because that's for Patreon. I'll do the cover for the Thursday night games, and I think the Ravens will win, but the Chiefs will cover. That's what I'll say. But for the Panthers Saints, I got the Saints winning. But then again, because the Panthers, they got a receiver in the draft, but they didn't have a first round pick. And when you don't have a first round pick, that literally dismantles you. I still can't believe they did all that just for the first round pick. Like, it's just makes no sense to me why they did what they did. But anyway, yeah, I'm picking the Saints just because the more I think about the Panthers, it just that whole situation is a dumpster fire. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how they did and everything they did. So Vikings versus the Giants, New York Giants. This is gonna be a make or break year for Brian Daboll, but maybe they'll give him another year. But Bill Belichick's out there, so I don't know if you got time to screw around if you're Daboll, and you know what I mean. You got Daniel Jones. You better cook up something good because, well, the Giants, they have a slew of receivers, but they lost Saquon, who was basically like 60% of their offense. So I just don't trust it. I'm gonna pick the Vikings here. But I mean, that's more of a reason why I should pick the Giants because everyone's gonna think they're gonna suck. Because the Vikings, they lost their quarterbacks though too, so the Vikings aren't trotting anyone out there. JJ, he's gone for God knows how long. That sucks. I wanted to see him play. I'm gonna go with the Giants here. Pull out the upset. Then we got the Patriots versus the Bengals. I don't know if they're playing their rookie. If they play the rookie, they have a chance because that kid can play. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. Like, he's fearless. He just goes out there and plays. The team's like looks like they're better, and he makes them better. That's why I think he would be a better fit. But they might start Jacoby Brissett for the first couple of weeks. So that's what I'm thinking. Just because they want the kid to probably learn and just see how the game plays from the sideline and just understand how to be a pro, understand the plays, how the flow of the game goes. It's good to like just digest that all for a few games, and then you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. Rather than just going in and learning as you go. Like, yeah, that's good too, but sometimes it hurts you. Sometimes it's good just to sit back and learn just a little bit. I'm not saying you're an idiot or a moron, but it's just good to learn. But in this case, he's going against a surgeon and Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow, I mean, the Bengals also, they always start off slow. So that's another reason why the Patriots could win. I think the Patriots can get an upset here. No one can see it coming. But it's a 1 o'clock game, though, guys. So a lot of things get lost in the 1 o'clock games. Anything can happen in the 1 o'clock game. Because everyone doesn't pay attention to that. So it's usually specific teams. I watch Red Zone, or I display Red Zone, so I'm able to see all the scores. But most people don't watch Red Zone. They watch the team they like. And those 1 o'clock games, you got millions of people just zeroed in on one game. So you can have a lot of stupid shit happen. So this is a game, it can go either way. But the Bengals have so many weapons that they should be able to handle the Patriots. But with the rig, you just don't know what they're going to do. They could just have someone get hurt. Or, oh, he has a bad game. Joe Burrow can't hit a backside of a barn. You just don't know what they're going to do. But I'm going to go with the Bengals. It's week 1. I think it's safer than the Patriots, who are projected to win like 3 games. But if they play the rookie, they'll win more than 3 games, guys. That's just not going to happen. So the Steelers versus the Falcons, Atlanta. This is going to be a good game. I don't know if Russell Wilson's out. Justin Fields can play. The Falcons, they got their guy, though. I don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to be ready, but Penix can play. They got some receivers and tight ends. I think this is going to be a good game. This is going to be an offensive game, I think. I don't know which way to go. I think this game is going to be probably one of the most exciting offensive games of the week. It's just going to be back and forth. Not too much defense happening. I think... But I don't know who has more weapons, though. I think Atlanta might have more weapons. But Atlanta might be able to win this game, guys. Because I'm thinking about it. They got receivers, they got tight ends, they got running backs. I mean, the Steelers do too. Their O lines are pretty similar. And it's going to come down to defense, who can get a stop here and there. And it's also going to come down to the rig as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with this. They're going to be in a dome too. So I guess that could help the Steelers. And if Justin Fields plays, whenever that man's in a dome, he just goes lights out. But then again, if Kirk Cousins plays, I'm going to pick the Falcons because he knows how to run an offense and he's going to be hitting Kyle Pitts all day long. He's going to be hitting Drake London, those big targets. He understands routes and how to play. And that's why I would do that. I would trust Kirk Cousins more than Justin Fields in a passing situation because he just is better in that situation, more experienced. I'm gonna pick the Atlanta. I'll put an asterisk though, an asterisk. I don't know why I said it like that. So, if Kirk Cousins plays, I'm picking the Falcons. If Kirk Cousins does not play, I have the Falcons losing in a tight game. So, but I'm gonna act as if Cousins is playing. But you guys need to keep an eye out on that. If he doesn't play, I'm picking the Steelers. Because Penix is good too, but he hasn't played an NFL game yet. Let's let the kid win first before we anoint him a winner. At least Justin Fields has won an NFL game before. So that's what I would say about that. All right, next we got Houston versus the Colts. This is a divisional game. Both quarterbacks should be there. Richardson should be there. CJ Stroud should be there. Everyone's going to pick the Texans here. I'm picking the Colts. I like Shane Steichen. I think the Colts are going to surprise people. I got nothing to go on because the Texans, they got Stephon Diggs. They got their whole team coming back. The Colts, not as much. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. There's just something about this team. It's just they're always in the game. And I bet you everyone picks the Texans. So I'm going with the Colts. All right, next we got the Cards. Whoops. I got to start writing these out before. Versus the Bills. Normally, this is a quick W for the Bills, but I don't know. The Cardinals, they got Marvin Harrison. The Bills, they have no receivers. They gave up. They sent, like I said, Diggs is on the Texans, and then the other guy, whatever his name is, I forget. Davis, whatever his name is, they sent him off somewhere. So they don't have their receivers. They're starting all over. They drafted a receiver, right? They got their tight ends, James Cook, and then the same defense. But other than that, they don't have this. It's not the same offense, guys. And remember last year when I told you when Stephon Diggs was throwing that tantrum, I told you they're not going anywhere. He's probably mad because he knows they're not going to win. And that's why he wanted out. Why would you want to stay somewhere if you know you're not going to win? But not saying that the Texans are going to win, but at least if you're not going to win something, at least I want to live where I want to live. If I'm not going to win a championship, damn, I want to be in warm weather at least, with a decent quarterback. I don't want to be in Buffalo. That sucks. You're going to play all this football knowing you can't win a championship. They told you you're not going to win. Why would you want to be in Buffalo in that freezing, terrible weather? No. So I don't blame him. But at the same time, you got to finish what you commit to. So he's kind of being a little B on that end. All right, next we got the Titans, right? Versus the Bears. So the Titans, they lost their workhorse to the Ravens. It's going to be interesting to see how Derrick Henry plays with the Ravens. If he can put them over the edge, that's going to be a tough team to beat. But the Titans, they're going to be a completely different team. This isn't the same team with, the tough mentality, the Patriots mentality, from Vrabel. It's going to be a whole different thing. We don't know what we're going to get from them. Who knows? It could be offensive. It could be really nice, cool looking, and promising. They got the second-year guy coming out, Will Levis. Levis is not terrible, but he's going to have to play well. If they have Hopkins coming back, I got to look that up. I don't know if DeAndre's coming back. If they got some weapons, if they had a whole summer together working, Levis can make something happen. But the Bears, though, they got the number one pick. They got those receivers. Their defense started playing better at the end of the year. I don't know, man. I think all eyes are going to be on the rookie. I'm picking the Bears because I'm pretty sure they want the Bears to be good because Caleb can boost the ratings of the NFL and bring the Bears back to prominence. They haven't had a great quarterback ever, so. Or then again, it could be the same old, because how many times have the Bears drafted a quarterback and it just doesn't work? So we're going to have to see. But I'll give this kid the benefit of the doubt because of what has been said about him. And if the NFL wants to keep this money going, that only can help. So next we got. Oh, actually, hold on. I didn't pick the Bills Cardinals game. I just realized. I'm going with. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals with the upset. Well, actually, they're traveling to Buffalo. Hold on, let me think about this. They're traveling to Buffalo, and it's a 1 o'clock game. Kyler Murray. I'm gonna pick the Cardinals with the upset. They got the rookie over there. I got nothing to go on, but it's any given Sunday. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. There's going to be two scrambling quarterbacks, playmaking quarterbacks with not too many playmakers trying to make stuff happen. I mean, Kyler has Marvin Harrison, but that's it, right? Josh, he's got his tight ends, right? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But I'm picking the Cardinals for the upset. All right, next, Jaguars, Dolphins at Miami. It's very tough to play in Miami in September. It's so hot. Miami's barely used to it. Other teams aren't used to it. But that's not going to decide the game. Let's see. I think I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Because I think they want the Jets to make the playoffs this year. Because the Dolphins made it last year. And they probably want to move off Tua, This will be their way of doing it. All right, now we got Denver versus Seattle. This would have been cool if Russell was there. Not. I'm going to go with the Broncos because it's not the same Seattle team that we're used to. Pete Carroll's gone. It's a different team. They're probably going to sabotage Geno. So I'm picking the Denver. Seattle might just tank it just so they can get a good quarterback next year, a young guy. And just say, Geno, go out there. We're going to lose on purpose. Screw your career. Even though we know you've fought back to be a good quarterback. All right, now we got the Raiders versus the Chargers. Raiders versus the Chargers. All right, so now with this, I'm going Chargers. I think they're going to control the line of scrimmage. I mean, I like Antonio Pierce, but it's coming down to the quarterback. Which quarterback is more marketable? I forget what the name of the quarterback of the number 4 on the Raiders. I forget his name, but it's him or Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's more marketable. You got Jim Harbaugh, right? It's his debut. I think the Chargers come in running the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, passing on third down when they need to only. They're not going to overuse the pass like the other coach didn't know what he's doing. And they're going to have an identity week 1, I think. I'm going to pick the Chargers. And I don't think the Raiders will have an identity. Actually, no, they will. Because they got a defensive coach. They like to run the ball and play defense. So both teams, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see a lot of running between these two coaches. Passing when you need to, but a lot of hard-nosed football, a lot of blitzing, good tackling. That's what you're going to see this game. I'm picking the Chargers. Well, good tackling sometimes, except on the big plays, the highlights. That's when you'll see the bad tackling, where they have to let the guy score, fall down, trip, dive, slide, slap, grab, whatever. Just let the guy go through. All right, we got a few more games. So now we got Dallas versus the Browns. This is going to be a good game. But Dallas, they don't have too many weapons. They made no moves this offseason. I'm taking Cleveland. I think Cleveland is just a better team. They're going to dominate. Amari's playing his old team. Amari is going to try to have a huge game against them. I don't know. But I don't trust Deshaun Watson either. He hasn't looked good in a very long time. Like, I don't know if they've turned him into the quarterback he used to be, but he hasn't been that guy in over 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Since we haven't seen him look good since 2019, I want to say, or 2020. I forgot. Whenever he was on Houston. So this is a make or break a year for him. Like, if he comes out and stinks up the joint and just doesn't look good again, they're gonna just have to get rid of him and just eat the money. It's to that point because your backups are looking better than him. That's not a good thing. This guy is $200 million quarterback, so they have to win this game. And that's why I'm picking the Browns. Like, the Cowboys, they don't have enough to beat them, and if they do win, then there you go. They're telling you what they're doing with Deshaun. They're phasing them out. All right, now we got Washington versus the Buccaneers. Most people are gonna pick the Bucks, because they won a championship. They got some players. Baker's been there, done that. But I think this rookie on Washington is gonna be special. I think he's gonna show us something, and the Commanders are gonna come out and win the game. They got a defensive coach, so they're not gonna do anything crazy. They're not gonna have him throw it all around the field. They're gonna have him play within himself. He's gonna scramble when he has to. They're gonna have 1-2 read plays for him where it's quick and easy, where he's not put in a tough situation. That's usually what defensive coaches do, because they're stunted offensively. Their growth is stunted. So that's usually how that goes. I like the Bucks, but I think the Commanders with the upset because they're trying to market the new quarterbacks, the new waves of quarterbacks, and everyone's gonna pick the Bucks. So that's why I'm picking Commanders. All right, now we got the Rams versus the Lions. Stafford playing his old team again, and same thing with the other kid over there, Goff. So I like the Rams. I like the Rams. Everyone's gonna pick the Lions because they won that. Excuse me. They won. Well, actually, they didn't play each other last year. It would have been the matchup if the Rams won the week before, and they almost won, guys. So, I don't know. This is going to be a better game than people think. Offensive versus defensive. Dan Campbell, the hothead, versus Sean McVay, the boy genius. I think I want to pick the Rams here. I think they made themselves stronger. I don't know if they're a championship team. They might need one more draft. It's a shame that Aaron Donald left, but he left for a reason because he knew they weren't winning again. That's usually why these players retire. They know, oh, we're not going to win again. All right, I'm gone. They're not scripted to win. He's gone. He's still getting paid. Why would he keep battling out there and risking his health? It just makes no sense. So I can see why dudes retire. But if they had Aaron Donald, I would pick this team as a Super Bowl team to win. Because they also drafted a D lineman. I think it's Brandon Fisk. If you have Brandon Fisk next to Aaron Donald bringing pressure, dude, that's scary, man. It's scary. It's a shame that he left. I would love to see him come out of retirement and come back to this team. Who knows, man? I'm leaving it on the table. Because if this team starts off hot and has a chance, man, wait for that knock at the door. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? That could be an NFL storyline. Just like they keep waving Brady in our face. He could come back too. Who knows? But either way, I'm picking the Rams because everyone's picking the Lions. Not saying that the Lions aren't a good team. I like the Lions as a team. Like, I think they're a good team. But I just think upsets happen, and I think any given Sunday and the rig, all that combined, anything can happen. I could be wrong too, but I don't give a damn. All right, now last but not least, we have the Jets versus the Niners. Everyone and their mom's going to pick the Niners here. They're going to think, oh, the Jets have no chance here. But the Jets have two receivers, that could start on any team now, right? They got a run game. They got A-Rod. If A-Rod can look like he used to look at all, the Jets are actually have the better quarterback. Because all right, let's think about this, guys. I know Brock Purdy has made it to the Super Bowl last year, right? Close to the year before, right? I get it. But it's the team he's on. It's the coach he's on. You don't think if Aaron Rodgers were on the Niners, they would have won the Super Bowl last year? You know what I'm saying? Aaron, you put Aaron Rodgers on the Niners, you can't beat the Niners. Let's call a spade a spade. The Niners aren't good because Brock Purdy is their quarterback. They're good because they have a good team, they have a good coach, they have a good nucleus, and Brock Purdy fits their system. Let's not forget, Garoppolo made it to the Super Bowl with them guys. There have been other guys that have been under the realm and have done well. So I don't want to hear this Brock Purdy nonsense. He's okay. He's decent, but he's just a guy. You know what I mean? He's a guy that landed in a good situation. That's it. So you got me in this situation. The only thing I can see is if for the Niners, the pressure that they bring is just overwhelming for the Jets and they can't handle it. But if the Jets can somehow hold their pressure off, because the Niners, they don't have the best defensive backs. The DBs are okay. So if you can get some blocking, I know they drafted a guy, they had some other guys they signed. If you can get some blocking as the Jets and some cohesion on that O-line, I'm picking the Jets, guys. You know, I'm just gonna pick the Jets because everyone's gonna pick the Niners, and that's what we're gonna do. And the Jets have to win this game. This would make everyone be like, "Oh, the Jets are for real," something to talk about. It's gonna look bad for Aaron losing to Brock Purdy too. It's not gonna be a good look for him and his legacy. You tear your ACL, lose out on a whole year. Now you come back and you show out and lose to Brock Purdy. It's just not gonna look good for him, man. It would look so good for him to come out and he beats the Niners. He comes out, lights it up, looks great. A Rod's back. It's just I think it's better for the NFL if A Rod looks good than the Niners beating down on the Jets. That's just me. It's because it's a new storyline. It's rejuvenation. It's not something we've seen already. We've seen the Niners. It's getting boring, right? It's like, all right, it's them again. So I'm going with the Giants, or excuse me, the Jets, and that's how we gonna do it, and that's how we'll keep Week 1. And don't forget to join me on Patreon to find out the covers and all that. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to join me next week.